One of the kind of annoying things about the Mark II Golf is the headlights. They're not the best. Seems that it was an issue with kind of 80s and 90s VWs that they put all the current through the steering column switch and the switch on the dashboard, which meant that there was quite a significant voltage drop. So in order to address this situation, what we can do is put a pair of relays in, one for the dipped beams and one for the main beams. Now you can make up a wiring harness yourself, as I did in the camper van, which is grand and it works well and does address that situation, or you can buy a ready-made wiring harness. And to be honest with you, I bought the wiring harness this time for the Golf from vwheritage.co.uk, and it arrived and looks very good quality, so I'll show you it now, and then we'll set about installing it into the car. The reason I'm doing this is because of the fact that myself and my wife do a lot of nighttime driving. In the middle of winter in Ireland, kind of gets dark about 4:30 in the evening and isn't getting bright until maybe 9:30 in the morning. So there's a lot of darkness hours, and driving on country roads, it's not the best, you know. So we need good lights. I did a HID upgrade on the Toyota Auris, which I'll actually show you at some stage as well too. There are projector headlights on the Auris, so the HIDs work very well on that. They wouldn't work on the Golf because they'll just dazzle oncoming drivers. My thinking on that is that there's no point in dazzling all the oncoming drivers and you can see where you're going, but because they can't see where they're going, they end up hitting you anyway. So it's kind of a bit stupid when people do that, and also I want the roads to be a safer place for everybody. So anyway, I'll show you the harness, and yeah, as I said, we'll set about installing it. So here's the harness. As I said, it does look like a nice piece of gear. There's the two relays there, which are socketed, and there is the connector which goes into the existing wiring to trigger the relays. There's a bulb holder for one side, fuse holders with a battery connection, bulb holder for the other side, and there is a ring terminal for the earth there as well too. So I'll lay it all out across the front of the car. Because it's actually dark out at the moment, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to see some of it, but I'll do my best to try and light the situation up. And yeah, unfortunately I can't do it all at the kitchen table. It's a bit difficult to bring the car into the kitchen, and I don't think my wife would approve either. But anyway, on we go. Okay, so there's the headlights on there now. The engine's obviously running on the choke, so hence why it's idling high. But there's no point in doing this with the battery on and in. You need to find out what it's like on the alternator. So I'm going to do a voltage measurement of the lights first of all, see what voltage we're getting there. 12.57 volts. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're dealing with here now. So there's part of the harness, okay. So there's the positive, goes on to the positive of the battery, through two fuses, and then down into the relays. Okay, and the negative goes on to the negative of the battery. Then we have a bulb holder here, and we have a pickup. So the pickup is used to take the power from the existing wiring on the car, trigger the relays, close them, and then that just brings the power directly from the battery through the relays and down to the light, the bulb holders here. So we plug the bulb holder here, which is on the back of the bulb, and we plug this in, and we plug that into the wiring harness. And then there's another wire which comes across the car and goes onto the bulb holder on the other side. Or goes onto the bulb on the other side, and then that bulb, socket becomes redundant. So yeah, fairly straightforward actually, to be honest with you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just undo the nut here on the positive terminal of the battery, and I'm going to clean that up all over the wire wheel and make sure we get a good connection there. It's a waste of time if we don't do that. I'm going to do the same on the negative. And then we'll start plugging things in and see what sort of voltage we get. Remember, it was 12.57 before, so I would want to be getting close to 14 after this job is done. Alright, so I have everything connected up now. I cleaned off the terminals on the battery. So there's the positive, two fuses, down to the relays. It's only temporarily connected up. I will cable tie everything into place
There's the relays. Negative going over there. I need to just address that a little bit as well too, just to tidy it up. Bulb holders on down there. Just about to see it. Hang on. Here we go. There's the new bulb holder on, and the adapter that goes into the existing bulb holder. So that connects in with the relays, just to open and close them. Or to close them actually, they open themselves. And then this wire comes all the way across here and goes over to the bulb on the other side. So what we'll do now is put power on. I'll start the engine first of all, just get that out of the way of the rad fan. I doubt very much it's going to come on. It's only 4 degrees out tonight, so it's kind of chilly, but and also the engine is cold, but just to be safe. So yeah, we'll start the engine and see what kind of voltage we're getting off this now. Okay, so let's get the engine started first. Well, not only did it work straight away, but I could tell from here they are a lot brighter. That is a massive difference. So let's see what voltage we're getting at them. That's a huge difference. So let's clean the light lenses next. Very impressed. There's the only problem I've noticed. We don't have side lights. So I was thinking the side lights weren't going to work, because the problem is the fact that the power going through the resistors is still going to be enough to actually pull in the relays. So I think what I'll have to do is disconnect the resistors. Bit of a shame, but you know, it's a small trade-off to tell you the truth. Look, we'll do that anyway. I think it's, I can't remember where exactly the resistors are. I think they're down here. Yeah, they're there. So, if I find where they connect in, I'll be able to just disconnect them. It's a bit disappointing. But as I said, small trade-off. Make sure you have your tongue at the right angle for this kind of thing. Okay, so now we have side lights. And when I put the switch in the next position, yep. Okay. So there's a little white plug that goes onto the resistor, which I had to disconnect. The resistor is still in place. I suppose there is probably a way of modifying that, but I'll have a think about it. And yeah, if I can reinstate the resistor, which basically what happens is it supplies a low current to the dipped beam as well as the side light bulb. It's not strictly speaking necessary, but it gives you brighter side lights. I mean, they're working fine now, so maybe I'll just leave them the way they are, you know. Still all good. So the beeping you might be able to hear in the background, if you refer to one of my previous videos, it'll show you how to install a light warning buzzer to remind you that you've left your lights on with the doors open. That was another little modification. Being an automatic car, you can't push start it if you happen to leave your lights on by accident, and that would be a major pain in the face. So anyway, so that's that modification done. Next job is to just cable tie up all the wiring in the engine bay and make sure it's all nice and tidy and out of the way and looking fairly factory in stock. So we'll leave it there. I mean, you don't need to see me doing that, but yeah, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.